Hello and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2. In this episode, we are going to look around the map and see if we can expand our passenger network even more. And of course, as always, if we come across any other lines that need help or more vehicles, we will take care of that too. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is make a passenger line that goes from Green Bay to Murrieta to Arlington. If we look at the roads, there's a lot of demand between the towns, especially Green Bay and Murrieta. So creating just a simple 3-stop train line will satisfy this pretty well and give us a bunch of demand between them. And then once we finish that, we can start splicing together some of these lines, such as the one in Cedar Rapids. We can connect that up to Lexington so that all these towns are connected, and so on. And maybe we extend the one from Huntsville through over to Murrieta. So let's get started in Green Bay. We're going to want a passenger station. And I think the way we're going to lay this out is we're going to get a road that goes straight off like this. And then that connects there. And then we can put a passenger station right along the road here. Let's set this up. Let's go 2 tracks, 240 meters, and place it right there. And then next, we'll come over here, and this road is a perfect road just outside of the city to add another station. So we'll plop that in there. And then lastly, over in Arlington, I think we're gonna add a new road like this and put it in the station right about here. Perfect. We might have to change this road around to bring the tracks in, but that'll be okay. So now we need to connect up the stations with some track. I'm gonna avoid following along this cargo line here just because they're very different trains, so I don't want passenger trains using the same tracks and vice versa. So we're gonna go through the mountain. It's gonna be a little bit hard to do, but we got it. We just gotta make sure that there's not any severe elevation changes. I guess it goes uphill a little bit, but that'll be fine. And then over here is where the issue is, because all of this drops off quite a bit. I might actually cut this back a little bit farther just so we can start to shift this track down a little sooner. Yeah, if we can line this up next to the road. And then we can continue this on. So it doesn't get too terrible out here. We can place that there, and then we're gonna want to make sure that we bridge over this track. Hopefully we can get it to do that. So we can get that to do it right there. And then use a very short iron bridge. And then we can bridge across. This is a massive bridge. We're gonna have to figure out how to get this in here without being too disruptive. Nice steel bridge. Looks pretty good. We don't want to block up too much of this waterway though, because it does get used by these ships. So maybe there's a way I can... There we go. Right about there. And then we should be able to connect up right there. No problem. And now we just have to bring this track around this mountain and through this valley and then connect it up to Arlington. This will be pretty easy. We'll have to cross the road, but none of these roads are getting used for anything at the moment. So it looks like there is a good bit of elevation change. It's not too great. We delete these roads real quick. We might be able to just drag this to the station. A little awkward, but that'll do just fine. And then we just gotta connect this road back up, which we will do. Just delete this and drag this. I don't know why this is being weird. There we go. Connect it up just like that. So now I'm gonna quickly go through and double up this track all the way through and add signals, and I will be right back when I finish that. Alright, so we're all good. I added the train depot. We got all the signals in. And this line should be ready. So let's get some passenger trains on here first. This we're gonna want probably the fastest train that we have, which still might be this Russian Class S with a top speed of 71. And then we can add some passenger cars, such as this one with a top speed of 102 or 112. This might be good enough for this train. We will purchase 2 of them for 19 million. and we will make a new line. And if we look, it looks like everything's coming in correct, and the trains should be coming out. So we are going to stop this second one, just so that we can let the other one get through the track a bit more so that they're evenly spaced out. So I'll stop this quick. We'll wait for this to probably get close to Arlington, and then we will let this one go. So a lot of our towns are starting to grow pretty quick. Murrieta's growing pretty quick and will fill up this space pretty soon. Arlington we haven't touched much, but it is slowly expanding. Interesting that it's going up into these mountains. It'd be cool to see what it looks like eventually. And then Green Bay's stayed about the same, but we're still providing it with services. So that train's pretty much in Arlington now, so we can start this one back up, and it'll be on its way. So each of them can carry 57 passengers. That's not terrible. They are able to move a lot quicker, so we'll keep an eye on this. But for now, we need to quickly set up bus stops through the town so that these stations can actually get passengers. So I'm just going to quickly do this by myself on my own. It's not that hard, it's just adding bus stops, but I'll be doing this multiple times, so it might not be quite as interesting. Alright, so now we have our bus loops going through each town, and we should start to see an uptick in passengers at all of our stations. The buses in Green Bay are coming. I brought them in this road depot all the way out here, so it'll take a bit of time for them to get here. However, we do have some people waiting already, so we'll let that go and see what happens. And now our next order of business, I think, is connecting Cedar Rapids up to our Lexington station. So then Lexington can sort of become a little hub for this whole area here. I don't think I'm going to extend this existing line down. We'll probably just run a separate sort of shuttle route between Cedar Rapids and Lexington, and then they can switch off between the lines if they want to come from Cedar Rapids to Bridgeport. They can get off at Lexington and then come over to Bridgeport. So that's not too hard. I believe all we'll need to do, just for the sake of clarification, is to add another set of tracks to this side of the platform. And then we can make this a bit nicer. We can give them a roof and some underpass access. Right there, and one over here. And then we can do the same over here in Lexington. So we'll have to add another set of platforms. And some more tracks. And then give them some decoration. So we'll add platform or roofs and some underpasses. Perfect. So now all we need to do is connect up this single line here. Let's see if it'll let me do it in one big move. It will. And I'm not too opposed with going through this mountain. Although this little opening here is weird. But we can keep it. It'll just be a little bit different. Now we have that line. And since we'll be running probably just one train between both of them, we won't necessarily need to have parallel tracks running along here. And all we'll really need is a bus depot or a train depot and simply connect it up. Now we can get a sort of quick shuttle train, which we might use this electric train. It's the first electric train we have. It's so far our fastest train, I believe. So yeah, let's use this. Use one of these. And then we can use these again. And have about, yeah, let's add 4. We'll only be having 1, so we'll need the capacity on it. And that will simply just run between Lexington and Cedar Rapids. Oh, does this track? Does the station need? I think the station needs electricity. I don't know what the issue I'm having is. Ah, here it is. I figured it out. It's under the Tools tab. My bad. It's weird you can't just upgrade it like every other track. But now this train should be good. And here comes our first electric train. Alright, so that should be doing good, making trips between both cities, and that should help a lot with our overall connectivity of the entire map. Maybe once these cities get huge, we can sort of integrate these lines better so it's not just a shuttle between the two lines. Maybe it becomes actually like an interchange, and we have a loop up here and then a loop down here. But that'll be something in the far future. So it looks like our train does reach max speed before it hits the next station. So that's good. And once we give this time to cycle through, hopefully passengers will start to line up for this new line and it'll start to become useful. Yep, it looks like we have people coming, so there is demand. And then once that sort of updates across the whole map, we should be pretty good. Let's just double check and make sure that these trains are still making us a profit. These are getting pretty old, which, speaking of old, we definitely need to go through and replace a lot of these old lines. So I'm going to go through and replace probably about as much as we can. And I'll be back once I'm done with that. Okay, I've gone through and replaced the road lines that needed replaced. However, something we haven't done, I don't think at all yet, is replace some of these train lines. As some of these are getting very old, and some of them haven't been swapped out since pretty much since we started. So we're gonna go through and replace some of these trains. If we take a look here at the Bridgeport, Lexington, Victorville line, we can see that there's a good amount of people waiting. Pretty much at every station. So we could probably definitely replace these with much better trains. So we'll probably use the Class S, as it's still our fastest steam engine, and a lot of our older tracks aren't electrified yet. So we'll do the same thing that we've been doing before. The Russian Class S and 3 of these heavyweight parlor passenger cars, and we'll replace those. And then this, which is probably our oldest line, or our oldest current trains. If we take a look at some of these, and they're definitely still making us a profit, but there's a lot of people at these stations, and so replacing these will be very beneficial. So we'll do the same thing here. I think the fact of us just replacing it will increase its production a lot. We'll have to take out a quick loan, since replacing these vehicles are very expensive, and we'll replace those. And then the rest of these lines I don't think are too terribly old. Some of these are old and should get replaced, but for the most part they're not too terrible yet. So that's going to be all for this episode. In the next episode, I think we'll try to connect up another production line somewhere. I don't exactly know what we'll do with that yet, but we'll find something, we'll connect it up, and just keep on going. We are getting to the point where we'll start to unlock a lot of things really fast, so that'll be exciting in terms of progression. Our money's already starting to shoot up a bunch. And yeah, so that'll be all. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions or feedback, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.